So, Jordan, in this video series, we've covered a lot. We started with talking about presence and what would Jordan do. We spoke about eroticism and overwhelm. Um, we spoke about alien encounters where beauty overwhelms to the point of being arrested by it. Let's see, we also spoke about power games and winning and losing and how we might be able to transcend that towards a more healthy expression of power in relationships. How seduction can be a dance that is played by two people in the light rather than in the shadows. And lastly, we spoke about really present men and the fear of losing our girl to them, and how maybe this fear is unfounded and Jedi tricks, all of these things. It was a fantastic series. Why is this relevant? What's coming up for you?
So I think the unifying thread in all of this is that so many of us men don't have enough of a frame of reference when it comes to our lifelong relationship to women. We bundle along and hope for the best, or decide, yeah, I'll be honest and speak my truth and approach the land of women as if with a shotgun, just kind of shooting from the hip at any opportunity that we get. But actually, so much of our pain and our suffering is caused because we don't have a language really to describe what's going on, and we don't have an understanding of what's possible either. I think there's a big education. I mean, I went out and clawed together for myself a profound education in attraction, relationships, intimacy, seduction, because I wanted these things in my life, and I just didn't have the view, the mindset, the understanding that it could be possible for me. And I didn't have that because it was missed. It was missed from my culture. It wasn't handed down, and I had to cobble it together. And it's been extremely rewarding to know that whatever happens with the complex and often painful and often really beautiful things with women, I have a sort of guidebook within me, right? I've got enough experience. I've got ways of seeing things. I've got conversations I can have with friends that help me figure out what's going on. And I think as a man, that's really important. If I can figure out kind of what's going on, then I can calm down. I'm out of confusion. I'm present again. I can take some kind of action. I can take the lead. So I think the frame of reference that we have about who women are, how relationship works, what's possible, that's going to define our depth of success, our depth of connection, how we come out of loneliness, how we keep a sense of humor. So this is what I want to pass on. I want to have a nuanced and deep look at some of the hidden themes, occult themes. Zhang calls it sub-communication, all the things that are always present in relationship anyway, but that are ticking along under the surface that you won't see unless you choose to see it, or you won't see unless you've had someone reveal that to you. So in the past, I've called this the mastery material. I've taught a mastery course. And what I want to do this summer, and what we are going to do, is put together an 8-week course where we go deep into this material. And so the conversation we can have abundantly. There are so many different themes and topics on the table, just like we've explored in this video series. But instead of having like a course or an encyclopedia or a textbook that's going to explain to us the world of attraction, seduction, and the subconscious, I'm going to share with you 8 movies. And the movies are going to be the textbook. And depending on how closely you watch these movies and feel them and draw from them, the more you're going to understand for the real practical exam that is your life, right? And your real life relationships. So each week during the course, I'm going to recommend you a film. And unless you're a mad cinephile, you probably don't know 7 out of the 8 films. That's my prediction, because I've plucked them out of some strange corners of cinematic history. I've collected them. This has been my personal bank of reference points over the years. So most people are not going to know these films at all. And yet these are films that I think are truly artistic, truly demonstrative of real dynamics that happen between men and women, and that illuminate some really hidden parts of the psyche. Things that we've touched on a bit at times. We're going to look really about power dynamics and the shells and the games that women play and also men play. We're going to see that in movies, and we're going to see it real time, almost to the point of stopping the tape and saying, what's going on here? Do you see that? What do you perceive? And some of the group will get it, some of the group will not, and we'll discuss and flesh out a group understanding. We're going to talk about masculine edge and the masculine sense of mischief, when that is a beautiful thing, when it goes over the edge and actually becomes dangerous. What's the fine line of aliveness? Because real aliveness, when it's really alive, is only a hair's breadth away from danger. So where is that fine line between mischief and danger? And what's really going on in a man when this energy is to the fore? What about limerence and obsession and getting caught up in a woman where the love is fully imagined? What are the ramifications of that pattern? And is there any way out of that psychological story that you create? What is it to behold beauty and to be spellbound and to be able to live and move with that? What is it to have a love triangle? Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? And why? And if you get into a love triangle in your life, can you make sure that you are on a solid foot, so that if you lose it, you're good with the lesson, but you're most likely to win it? I think one of my coaching points is if you're in a love triangle, it's good to have me in your corner. I can tweak things in your favor. So I'm going to show a number of different films, and also the psychological, the kind of erotic immaturity in man, what that actually is, and what is it, and it's a hero's journey actually. What is the journey of erotically maturing when you're a young man, finding your feet as an adult and being in ownership of your biological drives, so that they empower you rather than they corrode you and make you kind of crash and fall into addiction. So whatever, dating coaching you might have looked at, or whatever seduction skills or techniques you've found interesting or even useful, I think this is the deep dynamic stuff that makes the difference about whether you're going to come into a good relationship with a good woman, or whether you're going to be caught up in some kind of pattern for a number of years. So the reason I want to put together this conversation is to help men see the deeper layer and be able to navigate it with a sense of fun and art and humor. This is not a psychology class or a psychotherapy class. This is looking at psychological themes and seeing if you can open and actually digest them with a sense of humor. I mean, if you can do that, you've got the world at your feet, and you're no longer like, oh, I've got these neuroses, help me fix them. No, I'm going to help you see yourself in these mirrors and transmute some of your patterns through watching art, through this contemplation. And of course, if you can feel present, confident, masterful in this tricky domain, dating is really going to be a lot more easeful and fun. Because you're not asking the question, how do I get her to like me, or like, what's the next move to do? You're like, I understand the deep psychological principles that make all this happen, and I'm comfortable with that, even though it's gruesome. And I'm ready to really dance with you. Not just the nice stuff, but I'm really ready to dance with the fullness of woman, being myself the fullness of man. So we're going to use film to take us into this domain of self-knowledge and self-exploration. And we're going to have good fun as we do it along the way.
And when does this start? And what is the format for it?
So all the dates, etc., are going to be in the comments, and you're going to be able to get that if you click through and have a look at the page. Essentially, on a Monday, I'm going to write some intro text to set the scene, and then you're going to get the film of the week. You got 5 or 6 days to watch it. My recommendation is that you watch all of these films with active perception. So a lot of us watch TV and we checked out and we looking at the phone, or we stop it 30 times or whatever it is. There's a very, very passive way of interacting. I'm going to call you forth to sit on the edge of your seat and really actively watch, like you're trying to take in every decision that was made in every scene of the film. Try and soak it out as best as you can, right? Really actively draw out the films and see what they do to you. And I'll give you a list of questions and inquiries. What are the themes from the film? How does this connect to your life? Where is this familiar? Where is this kind of a hidden edge that you never thought about before? Where do you get triggered, upset, jealous, disempowered? Where do you long or lust for more of this in your life? So a lot of different questions to guide you into the content and the themes of the film, to see where you're strong, to see where you're weak, to see where you need to look more inside yourself. And so we'll have a conversation on the private chat. You post your insights and your discoveries, you see what the others wrote, you interact with each other, you flesh out a common understanding of the film. And we'll get together on a Sunday night and we'll sit for a couple of hours on a big Zoom call, and we'll talk about the movie. You'll talk in a small group about what you saw. We'll talk in the big group. And what I'll do each week is I'll choose 3 or 4 of my favorite clips from each film. And I'll say, okay, this is what really moves something in me. Do you see what I see? And I'll give a little commentary on it as well. And then every week we'll progress a little deeper, a little further down the rabbit hole until we get to the finale.
And for those interested, what's the best way to reach you?
Just look in the comments below. You'll be able to find the course link and click on the course and check it all out. If you want to send me a private message to get any more information, you can do that. Just go to jordan@amorata.com. But I think all the information is on that page. You'll be able to find all that yourself.
And we've all 3 signed up and are looking forward to the course. And we hope to see you guys there. And any questions, reach out to us as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's going to be good fun to have you here. Thanks for the series. And I think with the questions and the curiosity that you have, you're going to be ready to drink in so many impressions, images, good feelings of angst, feelings of eros, feelings of inspiration. Yeah, a good film. I'll leave it with this. A good film for me charges me up. It gives me something. I walk away from it with a real feeling in my body, like I want to enact this. I want to own this. Like the Bruce Lee phenomenon we spoke about before. I think every film on this list gives me those chills in a certain way. And what I'm going to do is I'll keep them a secret. You won't be able to find the films, but you will find out every Monday what is the film for this week. To stop these people who just want to look ahead. And no, you've got to stay in the moment with the film of the week, not knowing quite where the course syllabus is actually going to end up going.
Yep. Beautiful. And let us know what you thought of the conversation and the themes we explored, guys. And if you'd like to hear more of this conversation going forward, because it's on the edge. It's interesting to us.
Yeah, please let us know.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thank you all.